As Gavin said, I'm Stephen Joe, Director of our Data Platforms and IT. And this morning I'm going to walk you through Nimble's transparent application migration. What we'll be doing with this migration is seamlessly moving a volume from one array to another in a production environment. We'll be using our Exchange data. It contains all the mailboxes of the Nimble folks in this room and many others. So this is not a test environment. And here we'll be moving over to our all-flash array. So let's jump into the management GUI. We're going.
So is it Fiber Channel or iSCSI or?
This is iSCSI.
iSCSI
Environment. Yes.
And you're migrating the data across the Ethernet then, or?
Yes, we'll be migrating within a group that we have set up for this particular storage pool using the network, the Ethernet network there.
And the IP address, is that moving or?
No, it won't. No, we'll just be seamlessly moving the data from one volume to the other array. And the I/O will be controlled by the Nimble connection manager that we'll have on the host. So I can get to that as we go. So that will be tracking the blocks as data moves, so it will always know where to write the information. Great. So what we're looking at here is the management interface for this particular group of Nimble arrays, which contains our adaptive flash array and the all-flash array that we've recently installed. We can see some basic information here about this group. We know it has 60 terabytes of storage between the two arrays, and we can also see some statistics about the reads and writes that have occurred over the past hour. Now, let's jump to the next tab, which shows us our storage pools. So there are two pools in this group. If we hover over what we have here, the first one, default, this shows us the name of the array where that particular amount of data is located. So in this case, it's our adaptive flash array. And we can see that there's a little over 35 terabytes used there. And then on the AFA pool, we have no data, 3 empty volumes. So what we'll be doing is taking a volume from that default storage pool and migrating that over to the AFA pool. So let's migrate. We'll see how easy this is. So we can go to Manage and our volumes. Now we'll see the 12 volumes that were contained within the group. Our first 3 volumes that we have here are empty AFA volumes, and the other 9, we have our Exchange volumes. Now, all of our mailboxes are located in the Exchange DB volume. If we can hover over that for a second, we'll see some information here about that volume. We can see that its storage pool is currently default, so we don't have to drill in any further. We know that this is the one we want to move. So if you could go ahead and click on the box next to Exchange DB, all we have to do here is go up to the command buttons, click Move. We'll now be presented with a box that shows us some information about the volume which we've selected. On here, it also mentions that it will also be moving the clones. So this is moving all security information, encryption settings as well, all the data, snapshots, clones. It will all go to whatever location we select down here in the next dropdown. So we know we want to move this to our AFA. So we can just click the dropdown, select AFA, and now we click Move. And on the top, we see one volume to be moved to pool AFA. That's all there is to it. Right now, Exchange is migrating this volume from our adaptive flash to our all flash. And as I said earlier, the Nimble connection manager is controlling that I/O to determine where that information needs to write to. So right now, all of our mailboxes are still online. I'm able to receive mail. Everyone else here should be. So there's going to be a slide that has my email address. Please send me an email. I can respond to it. And I'm now going to hand it back to Gavin, but I'll come back once this is completed, and we'll show replication to another one of our adaptive flags.
So you're defining application migration down to the LUN level. I mean, this is have VMs on here which are servicing many applications. It's the whole LUN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. So we'll let that run in the background, and there's my PowerPoint again. So feel free while we're going on
we spell?
I'll just flip that back over. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing Exchange at the moment, live production Exchange at Nimble, moving from adaptive to all flash. Steve's mailbox, actually every Nimble employee in this room's mailboxes are on this same live demo, not demo, real life moving of data. So feel free to email sjoe@nimblestorage.com just to verify that this in fact is not interrupting our Exchange production. Okay.
All right, and now I'm going to hand it back to Stephen, who I received email from. I don't know if any of you guys did it, but I sure tried it right away, and I got one back from him. So he's just going to wrap up his quick demo, and I think he's going to basically take what we've moved, live moved from an adaptive flash to a all flash array. He's now going to show you the other part of that unified flash fabric, where we're going to replicate from the all flash to a different adaptive flash array at a DR site.
Thanks, Rod. And thank you guys for not overwhelming me with emails. I did get one from the group, so it was working. So this will be quick, so we can get you back to the flow of InfoSight. Let's jump over to the management interface once again. So now we have the migration has completed, and we want to set up replication of this volume over to one of our adaptive flash arrays. Two things are necessary for this: a volume collection and a replication partner. In this case, we already have a replication partner configured. So let's go to Manage and Protection and Replication Partners. On here, we see that we have one set up. This is not a member of the current group. It can be any other array that we have on our network. And now we're going to go to our volume collection for Exchange. If we go back to Protection and Volume Collections, here we have an Exchange DB. Let's click on that. Actually, sorry, before we do, we can see that there is no replication partner set up. Now, if you would go into that, please. On the right-hand side, we see that this contains the volume Exchange DB. And as Elliot hovers over it, we can see it is now on the AFA storage pool. And if you remember previously when we looked at this on the Volumes tab, it was showing as default. So all the data has moved. And we can also see, again here, replicate to no replication partner. So let's edit this. And again, we have 4 tabs here. The Volumes tab would just tell us the Exchange DB that we already have. But on the Schedules tab, this is where we can select where we want this snapshot to get replicated to once it's created. We have a schedule here set up for it to occur daily. 2 snapshots would remain on this AFA, but we would want to replicate those snapshots and keep more of them over on our adaptive flash. So on here we can select the replication partner, and now we could put in the number of snapshots we want to retain. So we can put any number in here. If we put 5, for instance, that will be, and we can save this. So now with the next snapshot, that will be replicated over to one of our adaptive flash arrays. That's all there is to it.